Hello, welcome back. My name's Tina and we're carrying on with the winter wine sweater from Drops. So the last time I left you we were just cast on and we have done the 4 centimetres of ribbing for the neck. So what we're going to do now is carry on and actually start making the shoulder seam. So this is a raglan sleeve jumper. So as you can see here in the line drawing, we're going to do increases to actually bring this out for the sleeves. So you will need 4 stitch markers so we can mark where those increases are going to be. You will also need your 5mm needle if that's the needle you had to get gauge. So we are going to go from the 4.5mm needle up to the 5 in this section, but first of all we're going to have to do some increases on that next row. So if you have a look at your pattern, we are going to knit 1 round while increasing evenly through those stitches. So because I'm doing the second size, I've marked that as 8 stitches I need to increase by. So you need to first of all find out what size you are to how many stitches you need to increase. So then it shows you how many stitches you're going to have overall. So I started off with 72. I'm going to add on 8, so then I'll have 80 stitches at the end of this round. Now I used a calculator and I worked out it's every 9 stitches for it to be even, but I'm going to do 8 because I don't want to do an increase on the last stitch. So every 8 stitches I'm going to increase into that stitch. So if you just pause this video if you've not marked how many stitches and just find out how many stitches you need to do, and then we shall carry on. Okay, so now you know how many you need to increase. So all an increase means on a pattern is make one, so you need to create an extra stitch. So I am going to do my 8 knits because this is going to be a whole knit round apart from the increases. So I'm going to knit 8. I've already got 1 on there that holds my stitch marker on, so if I just knit another 7. So as we said, it needs to be evenly distributed around, you don't want them all in one place. That's 7, so 8 stitches. And then the increase method I'm going to do is, if you pick up the thread in between those 2 stitches, so that is where we're starting from, and we're just hooking that piece in between and then just hooking it onto your needle. Then if you use your finger to push that yarn forward a little bit, that makes it easier to get your needle in, and then just knit it as you would a normal stitch, and then we have created that stitch. And then I need to knit again, so knit 8 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm going to do exactly the same, so I'm just going to hook that yarn, put my needle through, so I've got an extra stitch there, and then knit it just as I normally would and carry on. So that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to do that again. So we're going to hook it, put it over, move that one forward and knit that stitch. So that is 3. So if you'd like to stop this video now, I'm going to carry on till the end and then see if I've got the 80 stitches I should have. So as I said, I've got to increase this by 8. So I've done 3, I've got 5 more to do. So however many you need to do if you stop this video here, and then I'll see you at the end of the row. Okay, so I've increased 8 stitches and now I've just double checked to make sure I've got 80 stitches on my needle that I need to have, which was correct, so we can go on to the next section. So now it's asking on the pattern for us to switch the circular needle size 5mm. So you need to go to your 5mm one. So because there's still a few stitches, I'm going to use the shorter cable one. So now we're going to work as follows. So this marker here is the mid back. That is our starting point for carrying on down the sweater. So first of all, we need to knit 13. So once again, if you haven't marked it off on your pattern, please mark off your size so you can see exactly how many you need to do, because with me saying the ones I need to do, it could get confusing for you. So please just put it so you can just double check, because we're now going to put the markers in for the sleeve. So we need to make sure these are in the right place. So you're going to need your 4 markers. So we're going to swap over our needle to the 5mm, and while we're doing that, we're going to slip in some of the markers. So if you just take that first one off, because we're going to change, sorry about the clanking, we're going to change over to the 5mm needle. So we're just going to start knitting on this one and it will slowly just naturally transfer onto here. Sorry any clanking of the other end of this needle as I go. I should try and keep it quiet. I've also got a creaky chair which isn't helping. So first of all, we're going to knit, in my case 13. So I'm going to knit 13 stitches and then insert a marker. So I just pull that one we're not using further up, just to make sure those stitches don't come off without us noticing. So it looks a bit complicated to start with because you've got needles everywhere, but it will soon sort out as we go. Slowly the other one will disappear. We will put that first needle marker back in when we start doing the next new row, so we don't move our place. As I said previously, make sure that these stitch markers for the sleeves are different from the first one, even if it's a different colour or something, just so you know which is sleeve and which is the beginning of the round. That's 10, 11, 12, 13. When you've put that 13 or however many you need, just pop your needle marker, just pop your stitch marker on there. And we need to knit 14, and that's everybody has got the same for their starting point on that one. So we just knit 14. Of 13, 14, and then we're going to place our next stitch marker. So those stitches between there are going to be our sleeves, and these are where we're going to increase. So now we need to go across to the other side for the other sleeves. So it says knit 26. So for my size, I'm knitting 26. Please check your size to see which one you need. Sorry, I'm rattling. 2, 3, nice to move onto these shinier needles because with all the fibres on this it is gripping to it a lot. 24, 25 and 26. Place another stitch marker, and then like we did for the other sleeve we need 14 stitches, so it's the same. So we're going to knit across 14. Sorry for the rattling. And that's 14. So then we're just going to place our last stitch marker on and then go back to beginning. So just as I started with 13, I should be finishing 13. It's a good idea to check you have got the right number, and that means that all along is the right number as well. If you are out, then it's your chance to check again to see why that's not matched up right in the end if you started with the right amount of stitches. So let's just carry on, and then all those stitches are going to be on the new needle. And we can carry on. Last one, so we take that needle out, it's all on the new one, all ready to go. As I say, this is probably shorter than yours, but I like to use as small as I can and then I'll transfer it up. It depends what you've got in your needle stash to what you've got to use. So we need to put that stitch marker back on so we don't forget, so we know that is the beginning of our row and it's also the centre back. So now I'm going to end this video so it's not too long and you can have a break, get a cup of tea if you need one, and I shall be right back with the next video where we shall be increasing at all those points. So I'll see you again very soon. Good luck with it. I hope you're getting on well. As always, please leave any comments that you need, any questions. I'd love to hear from you, to hear how you're getting on. So happy knitting. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.